Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. William Samoei Ruto is looking for assistance and help from every quarter because the pain of the demonstrations is really becoming very explicit, and he feels the pangs of every bit of this pain. He went to look for the support of the African Union, and the head of the African Union responded. This is what Musa Faki said. 27th March 2023, Addis Ababa. The chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, expresses deep concern at violence following public protest in Kenya since 21st March 2023, which has resulted in loss of life, damage of property, and the interruption of certain economic activities in the capital city, Nairobi. The chairperson urges all stakeholders to exercise calm and engage in dialogue to address any differences that may exist in the supreme interest of national unity and reconciliation. In this regard, the chairperson wishes to recall the successful conduct of general elections in August 2022 in Kenya and the subsequent unanimous confirmation of the election outcome by the Supreme Court. The chairperson reiterates the total solidarity with and support to the government and the people of Kenya's efforts working towards national unity, peace, and stability in the country. That is the message from the head of African Union. Let me tell you something. We can put a very brave face. We can put that smiling or bitter facade. We can make our supporters feel like there is nothing happening. We can go to work very early in the morning from 5 and tweet and tell the whole world that everything is okay. But deep down our hearts, we know that something somewhere is not right. And this is the reason why this administration led by William Samoei Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua are trying, this administration is trying to do everything within its reach to ensure that we have a truce. This was really expected because the ripple effects of the demonstrations have reached our borders. Already in Namanga, the border of Tanzania and Kenya, things are never okay when people go for demonstrations. We have large and long trucks waiting with goods, some which are very perishable, and we really lose a lot of resources and money when people go for those elections. And Samia Suluhu feels the pains. In Uganda, within the Busia border, they cried out. In fact, I remember they even urged President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to try and talk to Raila Odinga, or they take this to the EALA, East African Legislative Assembly. Things are thicker. Let no one cheat you. Let no one play politics with you. Already in Kenya, Sakaja said that they are running losses. Rigathi Gachagua himself confessed that we lose 2 billion Kenyan shillings, but experts believe that it could be a figure beyond the 2 billion Kenyan shillings. So these are efforts from the East Africa neighbors, from Africa, because the ripple effect is felt. We have those long transit vehicles that go through Uganda and they go to even Rwanda. So when there is any delay within the borders, you understand that the pain and the loss will reach to the farthest African countries. So these are efforts by these leaders to try and bring calm and tranquility within our borders. But there must be a way of doing it. I will tell you why Musa Faki is making a blunder. These are external forces trying to tame Raila Amolo Odinga. But they should understand that this thing is not about Raila Amolo Odinga. It is about the people. Because the cause that Raila is championing goes beyond him. For example, when he says that he wants the cost of living to come down, it's not about Raila. Raila does not feel the pinch of pain when the cost of living is high. So this is about the people. And it shows just how desperate William Ruto is to bring a truce between him and Raila Amolo Odinga. Even though they keep on saying that they will not talk and all that, they want to talk. Because even the head of the AU is telling them that people should try and dialogue to address differences that may exist in the supreme interest of national unity and reconciliation. So when Rigathi Gachagua goes on saying that they cannot talk, they cannot do what, finally people will have to talk. And I want to tell Musa Faki one thing. Raila has not declined to talk. It is only that he has given some irreducible minimums for him to sit down with William Samoei Ruto. One, he says that William must respect the opposition because William Samoei Ruto is talking from both sides of the mouth. At one side, he's saying that he wants a strong opposition. But on the other side, he is busy buying all the opposition, the leaders that are allied to the opposition. So you wonder, this doublespeak. How do you want a strong opposition, yet you want to either intimidate or buy the loyalty of the opposition? It means that you don't want a strong opposition. And Raila is saying that the server must be opened. I hear that Faki is saying that he reiterates his support for the government because people went for an election and the Supreme Court unanimously gave William Samoei Ruto his victory. But let me remind Musa Faki of one thing. Our Kenyan constitution gives the supreme authority to the people of Kenya, not the IEBC, not the Supreme Court. Yes, those are independent institutions that we must respect. I want to reiterate that. We must respect those independent institutions as long as they remain independent. But if at all we've realized that there's some infiltration and they are not working independently, then the people can decide to exercise full authority. Because let me tell you something, we only donated the power to the IABC. We only donated the power to the Supreme Court. We only donated the power to our parliament so that they can exercise certain authorities on our behalf. So Musa Faki should not come and try to maybe lecture us that he knows what happened during the Supreme Court ruling. He was not there. We were there. I believe he's working on a report that was presented to him by the Supreme Court telling him that we went for an election cycle and the IBC pronounced William Ruto as the winner, and then it went to the Supreme Court. We all know this, and we even know it better than he does. He has the freedom to stand with the government. That is his problem. But Kenyans are asking deeper questions. Why, for example, is Musa Faki not asking William Ruto to open the server? Because he should understand from where he sits that if he wants to act as a neutral arbiter, then he must come with clean hands. Let Raila Odinga or the Azimio not see him as someone who has taken sides, because it's not lost on us that he presided over relieving Raila of his duty as the African Union High Representative for Infrastructure. They were doing this thinking that they wanted to intimidate Raila Amolo Odinga. But let me tell you something. Faki must understand that the day they relieved Raila Odinga of all the duties, Raila had all the time to concentrate in championing for democracy in Africa, in championing for democracy in Kenya. I also want to remind him, lest he forgets, that Raila Amolo Odinga controls over 10 million people in this country. People who are ready to listen to him, people who swear to his political ideologies, people who are ready to die for him. So we don't need any lectures from any leader. I welcome any stakeholder who wants to come in to help us have peace in our country. But you all know that there can never be peace without justice. That is one thing. Raila Odinga has always continued to say that when people are conducting the demonstrations and the mass actions, they must do it as it is entrenched in our sacred constitution. Faki must also understand one thing, that when people were going on with their demonstrations in accordance with the law, the police pounced on them with tear gas canisters and water cannons. It is the police that rain riot and terror on the Azimio supporters. I'm shocked that an international leader like Musa Faki is telling people to have peace, yet he fails to address the encroachment of Uhuru's property, where the government sponsored goons to go and invade Uhuru's property in Ruiru, his land. They cut down trees and they took away animals, and then later burnt, set ablaze that land. Yet he fails to capture this. They have worked with Uhuru Kenyatta because Uhuru has been given a role to try and mediate peace and tranquility in Congo. Yet he does not want to talk about this. It reminds me of today when Raila Odinga was asking the international community and the diplomats why they are so silent. Their silence is deafening, so loud. They can't talk about this when the police butcher and try to intimidate the opposition as they go on with their demonstrations. Why are they so silent on this? Let me tell you, anyone who wants to come and help Kenya achieve and maintain peace, come in clean hands. Don't come and start lecturing us about the IEBC. We know the IEBC more than you do. Don't start lecturing us on the Supreme Court. We understand. Even now, there are efforts from the government to unilaterally, appoint people who will be dancing to their tunes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Musa Faki. We welcome. He wishes us well. But peace, reconciliation, and tranquility must come from the government side. The day you open that server, and we know who won, the day you stop the unilateral appointments into the office of the IEBC, the day you bring the cost of living down, the day you stop telling us that Kenya Kwanza is a company that people who voted for you are the real shareholders, then we can sit down and have peace. But as it is, we must continue fighting for our rights, fighting for the expansion of the democratic space. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my take.